Guess who didn't know we were getting a new ban list because he was stuck at work all day? This guy. Guess whose locals decided they wanted to use that new ban list and he didn't realize this till round 1? This guy. So, yeah, I'm sure you've all heard we have a new ban list, and it's a doozy. This is a very big ban list. It's a very crazy ban list. It does a lot of insane stuff. I thought it was possible we could have seen a ban list around Extreme Forces release. I wasn't expecting anything on this level. I was expecting another tiny one like that emergency list for SPYRAL, where it just kind of took care of a few little things. I wasn't expecting anything like this, and I'm not going to lie, it's a little heartbreaking. Some of you who know what I like to play might know what I'm talking about. Some of you who may not, we'll get to that, but I think it's the necessary ban list. I think it's where things needed to go, and I think it is the right call, and it does mostly the right stuff. So without further ado, we'll start off with banned. First up, Blackwing Gofu the Vague Shadow. As a Link player and a Link lover myself, Gofu is a very powerful card. I love using it in World Chalice. Comes in handy, but I get it. Thanks to Link format, token generation is very degenerate and very rampant. So hitting it, getting it under control, slowing the game down, I think it's a necessary, even though I will miss this card quite a bit. Dandylion, same thing basically. I also used it in World Chalice. Sad to see it go, but Needle Fiber is probably going to come out in Flames of Destruction realistically, so this thing needs to be dealt with now, and I feel like in a way this kind of confirms it'll show up then, as the plant FTK deck is so annoying in the OCG, so let's keep it in check, let's keep it all under control. Then we have Double Iris Magician, which is sad because I was planning on playing Magicians this format, and that the deck's not dead. I think there's still a lot you can do, and honestly Double Iris was kind of losing its relevancy, as Star Pendulum Graph and Time Pendulum Graph are usually played at 1 in the new Magician build, and honestly this is a card you want to get out of your deck as quickly as possible, as he's basically useless late game. So I think the deck can play around him, but I understand it. His ability is easy to abuse, he's easy to lead to more degenerate stuff. You can actually get 3 searches off using this card around stuff like Electromite and things, plus a draw, so I get it. He needed to go, and I got a lot of work to do. Then we have Maxi. I was actually fine with Maxi at 1, especially because this ban list does seem to be based around making a slower metagame and getting rid of a lot of degenerate stuff, so I don't think it really needed to be banned, but I have a long-standing hatred of this card, and it's hard for me to not be happy a little bit to see it die. So finally for banned, we get the real big hit for Pendulum Magician's SKULLCROBAT Joker. This was our Stratos. It was our normal summon, and it basically got us whatever other combo piece we needed, and replacing this thing will be the big challenge. But I understand why it needed to go. Things that are generic search like this are a problem, and this is obviously a ban list based around dealing with the over-degeneracy of the metagame. So saying goodbye to this card, I understand it, but I'll miss him, and he's going to make for some very weird things you have to try out. Moving on to the limited list, we have APOOLIPHORT Towers back in the game. Does anyone care? I know in Glasgow or Farfa's video, whatever you want to call him, he got real mad when he saw this thing at 1. Nobody cares. We have Kaijus, we have Utopia the Lightning, we have plenty of things that can deal with towers, plus no one's going to play Klee anymore. If you've got that one guy at your local who wants to try it just because Klee are back and they got their Link monster, God bless him, but come on people, let's be real here. Grinder Golem is at 1, same argument with the other 2, plus this thing has a lot of loops and stuff that are showing up, so better it go now before it becomes a problem. Then we have PERFORMAGE Damage Juggler is at 1. Again, what harm does it do? If anything, it can only help, as some people at my local were already trying to work it in for dealing with things like your Trick Stars and other burn strategies, especially if Wavering Eyes continues to keep Pendulum Magicians a thing. Firewall Dragon is at 1. A lot of you are probably expecting this is my big sad one, and it is sad to see it go to 2, especially because I do have the playset, but I understand it. You know, people are developing FTKs and OTKs and stupid loops around this card all the time, and even though I think many of the things they do these loops with are more problematic because they're things that pop up every couple of years in this nonsense. I knew Firewall's days were numbered the minute I read that second effect. So, yeah, at 1, he's still going to be the best card you got. He's still amazing, and thanks to the next thing, he's still abusable, because now we have Monster Reborn. A lot of people saw this coming because we're getting the Lost Art promo, and also the OCG has it and barely plays them. So, I think Monster Reborn is fine. It helps out decks that maybe can't compete with a lot of top-tier things, because remember, every top tier deck has some sort of graveyard recycling, has some sort of way to utilize the graveyard for effects and for special summoning, so why not give it to everything? In something like Trickstar or any other deck that becomes top tier after this, Monster Reborn is redundant, so let it be helpful to the things that could use it. Then we have Spiral Resort. Again, who's really surprised? If one thing needed to get hit in Spiral, it's this card. I hate it when they activate one, terraforming the other, then get the master plan, then do this, then do that. Like, I really hate this card, and I'd rather keep terraforming at 3 for other decks that need their field spells, so better it goes now. Finally, for limited, we have Solemn Judgment. I think this is also fine. Judgment has a very hefty cost of half your life points, and as the old saying may go, the only life point that matters is your last one. Losing half early on can be a big deal, because remember, a lot of decks can still tutor out powerful monsters fairly quickly, and, well, that's the risk you gotta run. As also, I really like heroes, but sometimes that hero lives play can be really dangerous, especially depending on how your opponent opened. So Judgment, it's a card you have to think about. It's a card that has a stepty cost for a good effect, and I think it's perfectly fine in an era where traps aren't even that relevant to begin with. And then last but not least, we get our things that are off the ban list. This is kind of a crazy one. Artifact MORALLTACH went from 1 to 3. Probably fine. I don't think we'll be seeing Hat make a big resurgence, but if you want to try it out, the option's there, especially if you already are citing in Scythes anyways, like you have another utility card. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, is at 3. Who cares? Some people are talking about maybe teching this in as Trickstar to deal with the fact that Trickstar have an offensive problem. Fine, it's not going to make or break anything, though. Card Troopers at 3, this has the potential to be a problem for 60 card variants, because remember, Machine Duplication is still at 3, but overall, I don't think Card Troopers' meta relevancy remains. I think its time in the sun is gone, so that's what I think. Thunder King Rai-Oh is at 3. It's a 1900 beater who stops searching, and he negates inherent special summons. Yeah, no one's playing him at 2. Let him be at 3. Maybe he can do something. This ban list seems to actually really support stun and slower decks, so who knows? Bryonak is at 3. Got the errata. Doesn't really matter. He's still a very powerful card, but have him at 6. It's not going to do anything. Brain Control's at 3. Got the errata. The card's shit anyways. Shaddoll Fusion is at 3. Construct is still banned. The deck's not going to do anything. Like, just give us one Construct. It's fine. Future Fusion also got the errata. This one's a little more relevant for 60 card Infernoids, as we saw it actually. I think it won a YCS, or at least won a featured match at a YCS because of Future Fusion. This could be relevant. I don't really know. We'll see where things go with it. Mind Control's at 3. Makes you even wonder why Brain Control needed an errata at that point. But yeah, Mind Control's a powerful card. It's good going second. It's good for stealing links so you can make bigger links. But overall, it's a non-searchable spell that helps in a niche situation. So I think 1 or 3 doesn't really matter. You're better off probably just still playing 1. Maybe 2 if you want to make a going second deck. Preparation of Rites. Gotta help Vendred somehow. This is okay. As long as Necros never come back, I think it's fine. Sacrifice is at 3. Again, I go back to my Towers argument. No one's playing Cleese. Shut up, phone. 1 to 3. So long as Scout is at 1, Clee will not do anything. So enjoy your Link while you can. It's not going to do you much. Bottomless went from 1 to 3. Same thing with Judgment. Traps aren't very relevant. And the OCG hasn't been a 3 there for like a long-ass time and nobody cares. Like, Bottomless, again, if the game becomes more trap-heavy, maybe this thing could get semi-limited later down the road. But for right now, I think it's fine. CEASEFIRE, you're playing Burn, you're playing whatever. Good for you. No one cares. Ojama Trio, this is a card that gives your opponents tokens. I don't understand. Why has this thing been where it's been for as long as it's been? And finally, Torrential Tribute. This one, This one, depending on if the game becomes more trap-aligned, I think is a little... could become an issue very quickly, as it's a slow board wipe, but it's still a board wipe. And if you do it right, especially if pendulums are still going to be super relevant, it can really be a blowout. But all in all, who knows? I don't know. This ban list is crazy. I don't know where the meta goes from here, honestly, because we all just assumed when SPYRAL died, Magicians would be next. They wouldn't kill the hype over the one thing in Extreme Forces people care about, but they did. Konami logic. But I don't really know where things go from here. A lot of people are bringing up Trickstar and Invoked. I'm shocked Scapegoat didn't get hit, because that's also token degeneration, but we'll see where that goes. With Trickstar, I think Trickstar and Invoked fit a niche, and I think that that niche won't really go anywhere. Like, the thing is, any deck that has the ability to beat Trickstars can. Like, any deck that can lose to Trickstars can. Okay, that's a weird way to put it, but I don't think anything with Trickstars will ever go in any huge direction one way or another. So I think that's fine. Invoke is very anti-meta anyways, so who cares there. I think you might want to watch out for True Draco, just because Diagram is at 3, Masterpiece is at 3, and I don't trust those cards at 3. Let's leave it at that. Other than that, I don't know. I think Magicians will still have power. I think we could see some other Pendulum variants of stuff show up just because of the power of Electromite. But all in all, it's actually a new day for Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's exciting. And I'm really curious to see where the game goes. And I want to know what you think about where the game is going. Tell me about this ban list in the comment section below. What do you think? What do you think should have been hit? Do you think it was enough? Do you think it was too much? Because honestly, this is one of the wackiest ban lists we've ever got. Tell me that below. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe. And, well, let's see where Magicians go.